Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we discuss, so let's get on with it. So this week, well, forget about the usual stuff. 2.3 hit the PTU, which brought the Starfarer in hangar, the flight ready Khartu owl, so let's talk about that, along with the usual. If you are still to sign up to the RSI website, please use my referral code as shown on screen or in the description, and you'll receive 5,000 United Earth credits which can be spent in the Voyager Direct store for your ships, your character, or whatever you choose. You don't have to spend anything to sign up. It's only once you pledge that I'll be granted an RP point, which will get me some little rewards in the future. So the big news this week is that the update 2.3 has arrived in the limited PTU. I do have access, so I will be showing you via video and live stream everything featured. So do subscribe here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch, SuperMacBrothers Ryan. I'll just give you a very brief update on what is new here, but as mentioned, we'll cover it later in more detail. The first major update is the Starfarer is now in hangar. As you can see, click here to watch the video. I suggest opening it on a new tab so you don't lose this video, obviously. This is the biggest ship so far. It is huge, absolutely huge. You get lost inside. It is so detailed. A magical ship. I really, really want one now. Second is the Flight Ready Khartu Owl, a unique genre ship which is very much insect-like. It has really cool animations from taking off and landing. It still needs a ton of balancing, but it's a pleasure to fly and even more of a pleasure to watch it being flown. 2 new weapons have been added and can be found at Yella. This is the Arrowhead Sniper Rifle and the Devastator Shotgun. Still looking for those though. Power plant components have been updated and there are 2 new power plants to swap in and out. Changes to the character animations as well while in FPS. We have stops, starts and transitions. Plus you have a lowered weapon set. Your running has been updated. It's looking a lot better now. Still needs a lot of work and tweaking, but it's coming along well. We can see the direction they're going. Ships have also had a lot of work done as well. The Hornet has now got its new UI setup, which is very cool. Plus loads, and I literally mean loads of fixes, updates, and balance tweaks. Do check the patch notes that are in the description to see exactly what has changed. As I said, this is a limited PTU, so it should be coming to live pretty soon, once they feel it's stable enough. As I mentioned before, I will be going through all the features separately in separate videos, and during live streams, so do subscribe and follow so you don't miss out. So first up is 10 for the Chairman as usual. This will be the last 10 for the Chairman for a while as Chris is now in the UK. First question is, when is Squadron 42 set? Is it the current year it comes out, or the 2946? Or is it in the past? And Chris says that episode 1, 2 and 3 will likely be before the PU timeline. Now it's 2946. Squadron 42 will likely be set in 2942. Next question is, if I am boarded and I cut off the gravity generators but start to fly erratically, will the boarders be thrown around inside, and will mag boots help in this situation? Now he says that the long-term plans for the grid physics will simulate a certain amount of external force, so if a ship is hit, those forces will then stagger the people inside. Current EVA is a blend between animation and procedural physical reaction. If a bigger ship is needing to do a hard turn, then the gravity may lag slightly, causing a turning effect, and everyone will sway with inside the ship. It will likely be dampened rather than everyone being flown around and chucked around inside as like really crazily, but if the gravity is turned off within a ship, then it will become EVA, and also mag boots will secure you if you are wearing them. So next question is there still a chance of getting Pirate Swarm in Arena Commander? And he says Pirate Swarm is essentially in Crusader now. Short term, Arena Commander is not being worked on much. The focus is obviously on the Squadron 42 and the baby PU. Longer term though, we will get more modes, better matchmaking and so on. But they want to get everything into the mini PU as this is the foundation for the game. So it's priority to get it in there and make sure it's working as a whole with multiple people in. And then those game modes may feature in Arena Commander at a later date. Next question, how will reconnaissance work? Will there be in-game methods for ships to mark targets, either physically or electronically? And will there be any value in sending ships or players as operatives in advance of an attacking force? And he says absolutely, there will be in-game methods for marking ships. He's mentioned it before, something called Person of Interest, where you can tag a ship or an individual, mark them for your friends to follow, or even tag a location as well for your friends to meet you there. He says someone being the eyes will be a big part of the gameplay. At the moment, he finds it really cool watching people working together. They are missing lots of multi-crew seats and stations which are being worked on currently, and recon is a big part of gameplay that they want. Moving on, can we expect NPCs not just to bump into us? Will they use other means to get around us? Maybe based on their personality, for example, try to squeeze past, or just yell to get you out of the way. Now Chris says it's definitely something big on the list. The core Squadron 42 feature, and for Persistent Universe, is when you're encountering NPCs, it won't just be canned animations. Each AI will have all the different pieces of what they can do and will systematically play based on the situation surrounding you. And if you do get in the way, then they will shift animations to be lifelike and realistic, so they will try and squeeze past you. Very, very cool. Next question, will there be instances in the verse where if someone commits a crime in one system, then jumps 3 systems away before the crime information has managed to catch up? And he says, yes, absolutely, that is part of the design. Obviously, things like TeamSpeak, Discord is the quickest way, and they cannot block this, unfortunately, but the game systems will all work properly within the game. Info will travel via communication satellites and information relays. The more established systems will be able to send drones to other systems to broadcast the news, but the border systems may depend on information runners for the news to be reached. They say there's cool gameplay from wanting information or not wanting a message to reach its destination. In 2.2, we already have a bit of this with the wanted level and the comrades. He said the implementation is a bit crude at the moment, but the proper PU plan is that when you reach Outlaw, if you are captured or killed, then you'll respawn in an Outlaw-friendly planet or a base. And then when you reach a higher level and you're killed, you'll go to prison. And you'll have to either figure out how to escape, pay a bribe, or actually serve your time. It will be more immersive than 2.2 once persistence is in, but with persistence not being present yet, they cannot implement this fully. So next question, will there be an achievement feature in the near future? Would there be rewards or awards for the player such as weapons, in-game money or decals? And he said long-term achievements will be like in-game mementos. An example he gave was snow globes, which you will unlock for doing things. If you currently kill a level 5 outlaw, you will get the laser rifle, which is again another crude implementation of this system, but it won't be like a trophy or your name on a scoreboard like in traditional games like on the Xbox or the PlayStation. It will be more holistic to the persistent universe. So example is the fish tank. You'll be able to collect fish and display them in your fish tank. Also display stuff in your hangar or your ships, depending on when you visited a system. Next question, will there be a place in Squadron 42 for people who don't want to take part in FPS, yet still want to be a part of the game? And he says Squadron 42 has ship combat and FPS blended seamlessly. Primarily, you're a pilot, but there will be situations where you'll need to get out EVA and run around stations and so forth in FPS. So you won't have an option not to play FPS, but you won't need to be the best FPS player to get through it. It will be very immersive though. So second to last question, has there been any thought to allowing pilots to augment their bodies to allow for higher G endurance and less blackout chance? And he said it's been discussed, longer term replacement limbs are going to happen, so if you have your arm shot or damaged or even shot off or blown off, then you will have a cyborg arm implemented. Also, there will be potential for better G suits, so if you pay a better premium, you'll probably get a really nice suit which will help against your Gs. But it will likely be something longer term. They're still discussing whether or not you can pay for cyborg implants as a separate thing. We'll have to wait and see. So last question, will players be able to participate in the UEE faction elections, and can players run for office? He said it's early days at the moment, but being a citizen will grant you rights like voting. Longer term goal is that the likely game master the persistent universe and create events like elections. Short-term players won't be able to run for office, long-term maybe, but players creating content for players will be a big part, so it's potential. But he did say there will be other benefits for being a citizen, but he did not let us know what. Anyway, that was 10 for the chairman. Do let me know your thoughts. Let's move on. So, Around the Verse, episode 2.23. Again, keeping up with the patches by the looks of things. Vandy and Ben mentioned that they are working on 2.3 at the moment. Also, every flyable ship is available in the current free fly. Even if you haven't pledged for the game, you still get to download it and have a go. There'll be a small sale for the M50 and the 350R. And also, they wanted to point out Star Traders board game on Kickstarter. This is by 2 people working on Star Citizen, but it is not Star Citizen related. The link is in the description should you want to check it out. Straight on to news from around the verse with the CIG LA office. Character shopping will be in the game soon. This brings character customization, and the UEE Navy jumpsuit variations are being worked on. CIG in Austin, they say the 10-second delay bug and desync is still being worked on and worked out. There are Discord channels for bug hunting, so do check them out if you are avid bug hunter. They're also working on the pricing formula for clothing and ship components, also weapons and ship pricing in general, so you'll be able to buy ships through the game rather than from the website. Foundry 42 in the UK. Chris Roberts is in the UK for a few weeks now reviewing the Squadron 42 levels. They're also looking at scanners and radars. They're going into the first pass implementation on them. They're looking at auto landing to be more easy and accessible. Then they're looking at the landing for capital ships. There's a lot of work to be done there on the tech side. and I can imagine. FPS Vault and Mantle is in progress. They should have that finished soon. And the Vanduul character is in progress too. Now, Foundry 42 in Frankfurt. Unfortunately, he says it is pretty much the same stuff as last week. Nothing new has begun. It's all continuous work from the last time. So they're still working on the procedural tech. They're working on tools to support cinematics. Bug fixing and optimization and Squadron 42 cinematics are progressing. Now, the interview this week is with Carl Jones, who's based in the UK. He is the Chief Operations Officer and in charge of global business development. Very important person. Do check out the interview if you are interested. We had a new Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy. This time it was Vega. Very, very cool as always. Vega 2 was the planet recently hit by Vanduul attacks last year in 2945. It was the planet Aramis, which is the home of the Cargo Olympics. Vega has 2 habitable planets, 4 jump points, 1 asteroid belt, 1 dwarf planet, 1 super Jupiter with refueling stations, and it's all surrounding a G-sequence main star. Most valuable post goes to Purgatorial Flame for his role-playing source book. Very, very cool. Do check that out. And the sneak peek is the concept sale, which at this time we do not know what it is, but it looks like it's a Vanduul light fighter, which I'm sure on Sunday we'll all know what it is. Anyway, that was Around the Verse. Tell me your thought. So in Reverse the Verse this week, they mentioned the continued work on Star Citizen's making of documentary. They are planning an event around the Vanduul language, which is going to be very exciting. I cannot wait to start trying to learn that. CitizenCon tickets sold out within half an hour. I hope you got yours. Also, a sample of the collector's box has arrived. Now, there's a new community manager. Jared is still the community manager, but they've got another one who is Tyler Whitkin, who was originally the senior QA in Texas. Now he is a community manager, still based in Austin, Texas, though. So straight on to Q&A. First question is, why is CIG selling another Vanduul ship? And they said that both the other ships, the Glaive and the Scythe, were limited to specific events, and it was said that they would never be sold again. But people still want a Vanduul ship, so they're putting this on sale, along with a post which actually tells you not to buy it or why you shouldn't be buying a Vanduul ship in the persistent universe, very much in fiction. And they say that the hierarchy of the Vanduul ships go, the Blade is the bottom hierarchy. It is the sort of smallest light fighter, then it's the Scythe and the Glaive as the medium, and then up into ships we haven't even seen yet. It is cheaper than the other Vanduul ships, and it's on sale till the following Monday, which is the 28th. Next question is, will the Caterpillar get any more modules? And they say yes, there's loads of new art to reflect this that they will share soon. Very excited to see that. What is the priority of the Connie variant rework, or the Constellation variant? Now, they say they are planning out the Q3, Q4 assignments. The Constellation has gone through its final revamp, as we know, and it's just a case of taking that base model and turning it into the variants. The same will go for the 300 series, the Aurora series, etc. Once they've got the base model revamp up to date, then it's just a matter of adding the bits that they need for the variants. Next question is, any update on Nyx? Now, they say the final lighting pass was done a month ago. We saw that on an ATV, I think in December. There's a few design changes to the environment, which is currently being worked on now. They say you're able to walk all over the place. It's really coming to life. They're adding a giant ship engine to be floating above the marketplace. My God, this has got to be close, really close. Next question, any progress on Rift support, Oculus Rift, or VR for that matter? And they say there is focus now on VR, but they are not working to the Oculus's timeline, which is about 10 days. Says there'll be more about it in ATV's update, so do hang on and listen to that. Next question, will there be weather patterns affecting players or NPCs? And they say yes, very much so. The procedural team are working on this. There will be things like game-mastered natural disasters which will occur and then affect the economy of the planet, and you've got to come in and help and so forth. But there will be full weather systems, hopefully dynamic, so they'll all just, one day it'll just start raining or you'll have a storm. Really excited for that. Next question is there going to be a concept sale every month for the next 6 months? And they say that hopefully it's every 6 weeks. They've got a lot of ships coming out, especially from the Squadron 42 team. So yes, every 6 weeks potentially there'll be a new concept sale. Next question, what about the Tavarian Prowler? They say it's one of the ships on the schedule, but they're still waiting for the Tavarian to be fleshed out. Question after that is, what's the next design post? It's been a while since we've had a design post. I do love the design post. In fact, I was rereading through the cargo one the other day. Now, they say that they have 2 of them in flux. One of them is mining, which is apparently getting serious, so that should be in Crusader sooner or later. The other one is the economy, which is almost ready to answer the question, the big question of how much will a ship cost in-game. They're working to get the final plans for pricing together. Obviously, shopping is coming soon as well, so we'll just have to wait and see what ships they are. Next question is, any information on the Idris testing video? Now, if you don't know, a couple of weeks ago, they had an internal share of all the work that's been done across the studios, and one of them was the Idris in flight. They say we will get to see it sometime. They're just working to get it together, I believe. Next question, can we upgrade the Blade to the Constellation Aquila? And the reason why you would do this is to get lifetime insurance on a Constellation, and they said that you should be able to. So if you want to do that, if you wanted an Aquila with lifetime insurance, buy the Blade and upgrade it. Next question, do you plan to have a more bland NPC only ships? And Ben answered this one and he says there's already some bland ships, but by bland he doesn't mean they look bland, just in general they are your more commercial sort of white van man sort of type ships. And he says yes, the whole series are supposed to be these sort of super bland ships in that sense, so you'll see lots of NPCs taking these ships and using them as they should be used, as cargo ships. Any work done on ground vehicles yet? And they say beyond rovers and the Titan suits, nothing, which is kind of cool in itself. Any work on the Org 2.0? They say there's been much progress. They are speccing out a new chat, forums and hub system, all in one bespoke system. They will be replacing it all, and it's again coming down the line. Next question is, when are we going to get the digital map version? So they're not sure. They will look into it, as it shouldn't take too long to do now they've got the physical map. So for those of you who want the digital map, keep your eyes peeled. Any updates on planetary landings? They say they're just getting a production version ready, so that should hopefully be shipped out to us soon. Question after that is about the Crucible, if there's any updates for it. They say there's nothing about the Crucible, but they are prototyping a repair in design. They've got the arm and how it works, so that'll be coming along well. Any discussions about the Caterpillar variants? Now they said it's not like stock variants like you'll find in other ships, it's more like modules like the Endeavour and the Retaliator, so you'll be able to swap out each module as you please. Second to last question, will the Idris be on sale again? And they said sometime it may do, but they do want this to be a very limited ship. They don't want it to be everywhere in the verse. So they potentially will, but again it'll be very limited sales because they are quite a rare ship in themselves. Final question, what's the status on the ship spec page redo? They're looking at it now, there's a nice mock-up done, so it will look great, he says. One thing on their list of things to do, so there's no ETA. There's a whole new page for every ship and its state of development. It's coming down the line, and it'll just keep us more informed as to where all the ships are. There's so many ships. Anyway, that would reverse the verse quite quick and to the point. Let me know your thoughts. I would like to give a huge thank you to all of our patrons. Your support really allows us to create these videos. I have recently updated our Patreon rewards and goals to better reflect our direction. Things like Star Citizen package giveaways and private gaming sessions with me would be a good way to thank you all for helping the channel. Follow the Patreon link in the description if you would like to help. So also this week, CitizenCon tickets went up for sale. There are none left. They all sold out within half an hour, so I do hope you got yours. There was a new post titled New United Presents the Jalan Electoral Debate of 46. Bringing us a debate between the senatorial candidates from Jalan in the Elysium system. There was a note from the chairman regarding the Star Traders game, which is now in Kickstarter. Do check the description for the link if you are interested in backing. Bug Smashers episode 21 is available, in which Mark Bent shows us how he destroys the bugs that we face. There was a new Squadron 42 video showcasing Andy Serkis' role in the game, in which he plays what looks like the main Vanduul agitator. And we actually get to hear the Vanduul language for the first time, so I shall play that and let you all hear it. There's also a post regarding a ship sale for some limited flyable ships. Also, there is a new concept sale for the Vanduul Blade, the post explaining why it is dangerous to own such a ship in the PU, a nice in-fiction post. It is $250 if you live in the US, or $300 for outside. A little expensive for what you're getting, but they want to keep it limited. The star map posters are available to purchase, and the new jump point is also available for subscribers. And finally, Jared brought us a new ship shape, showing off the awesomeness of the Starfarer, which is now in hangar. It is amazing. Definitely worth watching as well, because he has two guys from the UK office just explaining certain aspects of the ship. So just a quick heads up for those who prefer to listen to Star Citizen Sunday on the move. I'm in the process of adding all of the episodes of Star Citizen Sunday to SoundCloud, which gets them into an MP3 format, so be sure to follow me on there. Today's episode will be up a little later. Once it's on there, I will be adding them also to iTunes as podcasts. So again, be sure to check it out. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.